This is Cybert signing into General's Evolution on the map Cold Drops. Yes, we are back with some Gen Evo action on the left side. Kicking it off as the Vanilla USA. This is Khay. Have not seen this guy in a while. Good to see a match with him. Meanwhile, on the right side, playing as the Green China Infantry. Give it up for Kylerino. Kylerino and Khay, always good, these two versus each other. It's pretty much always an entertaining match. And once again, this map, I have not seen a lot of Gen Evo recently, but this map I have not seen at all. This is a brand new map to me. It is one of the newer maps in Gen Evo. If you do not know, Gen Evo version 0.3. Is he going to try and steal the War Factory? He's going to get it, too. He's going to force the cancel on this War Factory. I don't think the gap will be done in time. It's going to be close. He gets the sail, and he does force the cancel on that War Factory after the first Assault Troop Crawler comes out. Unfortunately, the gap cannon also finishes, so no more shenanigans like that. Khay kicking it off with an amazing opener right in the beginning of this match. But as I was saying, version 0.3 of Gen Evo, which there should be a download link in the description, did not ship with this map. So this is a map that was developed after version 0.3 was released. And by the way, if you didn't know, version 0.4 is on the way. Apparently there's been a little bit of a change of direction. They were originally going to release like a version 0.31, kind of like just a balance patch, a little bit of an update, but not much of an update at all, just trying to address some balance problems. And they kind of, I guess, decided, you know what, no, if we're going to put the time into it, let's just do a whole version 0.4. So we'll do a bunch more changes. We'll do more. I don't know if they're going to add more units. They did add quite a few units into version 0.3 from the previous version. But it's been over a year, and very understandably that that development has been a little bit slower in between the versions, but we have been on version 0.3 for a while, and the developers are aware. Seguro and Gunship Mark II, which there should also be links to their stuff in the description if you want to support them and to support the development of Gen Evo. Couple of Humvees, nice control here by Khay. Perfect body blocking there, but I shouldn't say perfect because it didn't actually work. I thought he was going to be able to save that third Humvee. His control was very nice leading up to that moment, and also somehow Khay actually grabbed the oil derrick. I guess because this GAT has been punching away at these buildings. It was not set to like just auto target. It is manually targeting the buildings, which means I guess the engineer could walk right up and get the capture. Airfield on the high ground. I love a quick airfield from really any faction, but you know, well, I guess really just USA and China, but you know what I mean. Any faction, a fast airfield can be a very powerful component, especially if it's utilized well, and those minigunners absolutely shred those Humvees. No snipers inside of the Humvees to quickly eliminate those minigunners from a distance. A nice spy drone to get the high ground vision and to see these minigunners as they are retreating. Humvee does survive the first blast of the MiG. A little bit unfortunate that it was only 2 MiGs and not a third MiG mixed in there. I think that would have taken down that Humvee. Anyways, big thanks to Seguro for sending over this replay. He is one of the devs. The other dev is Gunship Mark II. And if you want to support them and support the development of Gen Evo, there should be some links in the description. Pretty much, if I want Gen Evo games, I go to Seguro and I say, hey, are there any good recent Gen Evo games? And 99 times out of 100, he has something fresh to hook me up with. And sometimes he just says, well, did you cast the games I already sent you? And most of the time I'm like, no, I actually I forgot to look into that second folder you sent over. So, but still, he furnishes me with many great replays, and like this one. Oh, reinforcements coming in. Okay, yeah, this hospital, this airport in the north does feature a reinforcement pad. It is on this map. A couple of MiGs going to be coming through. Firestorm does ignite. going to be forcing these Humvees away from that area. They are going to be able to take down the listening outpost. No, they won't, as an assault troop crawler comes up from the low ground and blasts away those Humvees in a mere moment, denying them the kill on that listening outpost. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, that GAT is still working hard. On the high ground, it looks like Khay has taken one expansion, and he's looking to take a second expansion, trying to keep himself equal with Kyle. These two guys have gone back and forth. I think Khay still has the winning score, but I know the last couple of matches that I saw, you know, keep in mind this was a couple of months ago, the last couple of matches that I saw between these two guys, Kylerino was starting to get the edge over Khay. So depending on when this game was played exactly, this might be sort of Kylerino taking the power away from Khay. And in this case, Khay completely misses that supply truck. Unfortunately for Khay, that timing did not work out. Kylerino saves that supply truck, and it's going to be reinforcements brought in. Crusader tank gets dropped off, and we'll see exactly what Kyle wants to do about this. For the current moment, he just snipes the tank, and oh! That was apparently enough. I did not think that was enough to take down that airport, but apparently it was. So there goes the airport, all gone now, and Kylerino doesn't want to take this oil derrick. He instead decides he just wants to break it. He's not interested in capturing it for himself. Airfield coming up, second or third war factory. I guess it's just the second war factory online there. Strategy center on the high ground there for Khay. MiGs come through. Going to be tagging some of those retreating Humvees. Oil derrick finally has gone down, and that GAT cannon always present. Meanwhile, in the north, Khay going to be putting a bit of pressure on this expansion. Will be causing some problems. It's going to take Kyle a moment to get back up here, so we'll see how many buildings actually get torn down before Kyle's reinforcements can respond. For now, it's just going to be the MiGs. Split the Humvees. Only loses 2 Humvees to that, but a third goes down to the GAT. Kylerino's defense may not be very strong or fast, but it is enough to hold on to the build radius. He's still got the listening outpost, and he's dropping another GAT sort of behind the listening outpost so that he can maintain that strength. And it's going to be more Humvees coming out from Khay. I was really hoping to see a bit more of an aircraft use. He is only vanilla USA, so he doesn't have particularly good aircraft compared to some of the other options. But he does at least have, you know, all of the straight-up vanilla USA aircraft. He has all of the normal ones at his disposal. Black Napalm has been purchased, and it looks like these Inferno cannons starting to make a little bit of headway. Khay doesn't want to just sit back and make this about defending all of Khay's attacks. Kylerino doesn't want to sit back and defend. He wants to put a little bit of pressure on. He's going to target down a couple of these Inferno cannons. Khay, that is. He gets a couple of them. Raptors do make it home. One Raptor going down in the middle somewhere. Inferno cannons coming to the front line for Kylerino. At least this time they are red and green as our first particle cannon comes online. I'm very glad to see that these two players are choosing very different colors from each other. These two have sometimes been known to play a game where one of them is dark green and one of them is light green, and that is or even 2 different versions of light green. And then they sometimes do play mirror matches, and that is just an impossible game to try and keep track of what is going on. Meanwhile, Khay is looking to the northern half of the map to try and give himself the advantage. He's posturing a lot of units up here in the north. Meanwhile, Kyle is keeping his eyes on the south. Those Inferno cannons still burning away at the buildings. A couple of Inferno cannons do get sniped, though, by Khay. Firebase takes a little bit of damage. No additional super weapons, just the first one, and nothing else is built just yet. A couple of Humvees going to be suiciding themselves in. An assault troop crawler and a couple of minigunners on the ground do manage to keep the rest of these Inferno cannons safe. And it looks like Khay was force firing on the ground to try and get some extra shots in, but now he is going to have to deal with the full might of Kylerino. The oil derrick goes down, the firebase goes down, and there might be a cross-map attack from Khay. He needs to do something to get this Chinese force off his back, but for the current moment, Is he going to nuke his own? He nukes his own power plant. Those warthogs sent in to clear out the buildings also take down a power plant. Spy drone gets sniped in the north. And oh no, Kylerino drives some of his own assault troop crawlers into the flames. Kyle burning his own units, and Khay is now looking to open up this map with a two-pronged assault. He's going to be jumping on the Inferno cannons at the same time, trying to jump into the front door of the main base. He will get all the Inferno cannons, but it will come at a cost. Almost all of the Humvees on the north side have gone down. Meanwhile, the Humvees in between the bases do manage to retreat. A couple of more Inferno cannons heading to the front lines, but there is also an assault troop crawler here to push away these Humvees. Will he be able to avoid that assault troop crawler in time? The snipes come through, and these Humvees are going deep into enemy territory, sniping Inferno cannon after Inferno cannon. Finally, only one remains, but nope, now 0 remain, as those MiGs take to the skies yet again to clear away those Humvee forces. Raptors coming in for a bit of a run-by, and this bridge in the south is destructible, so that could be used to cut off that attack path down there, or we may see that attack path be utilized for the first time. Command center to extend the build radius. Kylerino is going full-on aggression. He was a little bit faster on some of those expansions, and now he is also playing aggressively towards Khay. And of course, Khay has less than a minute on his first particle cannon, and he's just added on the second as those MiGs burn down another defensive structure. These power plants are actually exposed, so this could be a low power mode for Khay. He could be in a lot of trouble here, especially with 30 seconds still on the clock. If both of these power plants get shut down and then those particle cannons can't actually fire off, that could be a real problem for Khay to be able to break this attack. He's trying to go for a backstab. He has a group of 5 Humvees into the back of the base, and he does manage to find one of the airfields. A couple of war factories are exposed here, but also the command centers, so this might end up just being a bit of a base trade. Leapfrogging command centers. Kylerino doesn't care about defending the backline because he has a fortified bunker, which is defeating all the odds and breaking down the buildings in front of him. 8 seconds on that particle cannon, but it's now frozen in place, and these MiGs need to refuel as quickly as they can. The Humvee gunning them down one by one, and the Humvee takes another shot, but it goes down. Khay falls to pieces, so close to victory. If he could get out maybe 2 power plants, might be what he needs to be able to break this front line. Well, he would only have 1 particle cannon, but he'd have 2 more behind that if he could survive for an additional 4 minutes after getting his power online. He might have a chance of knocking Kyle back as Kyle sets up barracks after barracks, a double barracks drop with an additional command center. This guy is not messing around, and these Humvees are fighting for their lives. Fire bases on the front line, but those fire bases are really just to absorb shots from the minigunners to buy the Humvees a little bit more time. This fortified bunker is extremely difficult to break for Khay. All of the forces that he has are so low health. He lost those Tomahawk missiles minutes ago, and he hasn't been able to rebuild them. He has been fighting for his life as the particle cannon finally comes online, and finally this front line might be broken. Khay breathes a sigh of relief, but he uses it all on that command center. The fortified bunker is not broken. The power plant on the front line buying mere moments as Kyle has continued to beef up this front line. Khay has not been able to break it, even with the first particle cannon, but he is finally back online. He takes down the war factory, and he's going to try and blitz this bunker using a power plant to body block from the front line of the bunker. That's a brilliant strategy there to burst down the bunkers as all of the Humvees round that power plant at once. And Khay turning his fortunes around with that 1-2 punch. It's not over yet, but he has scored a massive victory in this game, and he might even be able to shut down the secondary economy of Kyle. He might be able to take down these internet centers and at least slow down the economy of Kyle. Meanwhile, Kyle rebuilding on the north side of Khay's base with his own proxy base. This game is getting weird, even for Gen Evo, which kind of has weird games anyways, but this game is turning weirder than we are used to seeing with this fresh bunker right onto the front lines, getting broken, but it's at the cost of several Humvees. A couple of tank hunters inside of here will be eliminated. A couple of more MiGs coming in with a hero strike for Kyle, taking out 2 or 3 Humvees in one swoop. Meanwhile, this Gat is going to get overwhelmed, but he'll take down a couple of Humvees with him, and MiG strikes coming in at the same time as a carpet bomb and an EMP all over Khay's base. The MiG strike hits the strategy center on the high ground, but down tick those clocks. The particle cannons are still online, and it's less than 2 minutes for both of them. They're now frozen in time. Okay, he's back online. His power has been fluctuating quite seriously, back and forth, online, offline, online, offline. But it's back online. Everything is calmed down for just a moment. What a goofy game this is turning into as Kyle and Khay on this pretty close spawns. This is a definitely like close by ground kind of game with how far the build radius projects from the command centers. And with it being a land bridge, it just means that that door is always open. The land bridge between the two bases has been a focal point of this game, but it finally has shifted. It's now going back up north, and these MiGs, oh, they fly too close to the sun. This group of Humvees, and the production behind the scenes never caught up. One thing that we saw from Kyle earlier on was that consistent production of sneaking out the assault troop crawlers to support his other units to be in addition to these MiGs. But the last couple of minutes, there have been hardly any assault troop crawlers, which means Kyle has pretty much just fallen apart. He's got Inferno cannons, and that's nice. And here we go. Another particle cannon fires off, finds a couple of supply trucks, a supply depot. He's going to get the listening outpost, it looks like, as well. And he gets the power plant, but that's only the first of the particle cannons. The other two have less than 30 seconds each. First assault troop crawler goes down. Second one is here. Can he close the distance with the Humvees? If he could catch all of these Humvees, then suddenly Kyle would have a moment to breathe. He would have a minute to get his feet back under him, but he doesn't truly have a minute because it's only 4 seconds until the next particle cannon. And for now, these Humvees are doing a good job of kiting backwards. Another Humvee does go down. Inferno cannon will get trapped, and that's going to be it. The GG gets called. Kyle Arena would have had to have caught all of those Humvees and survived those extra 2 particle cannon blasts, but it's just too much. Kyle Arena almost crushing Khay on cold snap, but he's just not able to do it. A very entertaining match between these two players. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all very much for watching. And of course, a huge thanks to the folks who support the channel over on Patreon. This is Cyber, signing out.